Good evening, ma'am.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing well. Jamal should be here in a little bit, and TP said he will be joining us shortly. So
Okay,
it's gonna
cool.
be it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Apparently, I'm not supposed to promote shows
What you
on
mean?
Twitter. Somebody had some little comment to say about, oh, it wasn't the show. It was stop acting like every black person should worship HBCUs. Oh, live on camera, I'm gonna be a troll. Okay.
These people get on my nerves, man. Like that idiot talking about Jackson State had no relevancy
I,
before
so
Prime.
so before Prime got there, two college Hall of Fame coaches, one of the greatest running backs in the history. You know what? I ain't even finna do that. You know what? I'm gonna.
But you should see his last comment to me. He said that I was stating prehistoric facts. Prehistoric? Like Walter Payton, Robert Brazile, Slater, and who's the other Hall of Famer from
Um,
you? I mentioned him in my post. But I'm like, you do
Happy
realize
Slater
that,
played like 20 years.
listen, it's these young cats who just want to get out here and talk and they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So they just sound ridiculous. Like you sound like you are borderline retarded because you don't even have the frame of mind to do your research. To call Walter Payton prehistoric is wild as hell to me. Like you sick in your head. So that's why I said I want what he's smoking. Cause it's gotta be good for you to be that delusional. You have to excuse me. I gotta eat. I'm gonna take some pain pills, and if I don't eat, it's gonna be a bad scene.
I definitely understand. Oh Lord. Yeah. So I I'm very interested to see what everybody else says today because um this whole WNBA women's basketball situation. First off, is people losing their mind at ESPN?
Yeah, they are. He's crazy. McAfee is crazy. Absolutely insane. Hold on for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Hey everybody. Uh DK sub, he ain't in the he ain't in, he ain't in the, DK, I'm assuming is on his way because he just subbed to the channel. Thank you, DK, for subbing to the channel. Um DK should be here shortly. Uh it is all right, we live. Come on in, sir. Come on in.
Oh, oops.
How are we doing, sir? How are we
Hopefully,
doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I
Hold on.
just I wanted to.
I'm okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm after we can come back.
Yeah, I'm finna be like Marlo. I'm gonna be,
Also,
I'm gonna be eating tonight. You know, Marlo, he
Mm,
always got a snack, a meal, a cookie, a cake, or something.
something. He always got something, doesn't
Oh,
he?
yeah, and he needs to. He does need to eat. Um, he does need to eat for his health. All right, but yeah, Pat did. He did issue somewhat of an apology, which I thought
it
was
was only
wild.
because
'Cause,
ESPN made him apologize,
oh,
right?
absolutely.
Like he wouldn't apologize. But to me, it's so wild to actually. I mean, but they cuss on their show all the time, right? So that's nothing
Hmm.
new. They're always cussing on their show, always.
Hmm. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't. But when you use the B word when it comes to women,
Listen,
and ESPN has dealt with its share of lawsuits.
come
Mm,
on,
mm,
like he crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, that just speaks to the culture there. The fact that you thought it was okay, right? And up to that point, it was acceptable. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Mhm.
That's an unfiltered show. And so when you allow people to operate with no filter, don't be surprised when they operate with no filter.
And
Come on now.
I'll be the first one to say I have co-hosts on this show who absolutely have no filter, and we apparently are like becoming bad influence on Miss Wright because she said the R word a few times. It
No,
took us
that's
2 years to
no
get Marlo to stop saying it.
wait, but that's been my word, right? So I need to but that's old school. I feel like our age group, we always used to say that word. Like
Until you two came out with the words that you can't say, I was like, oh, that's what happened to Miak Mike. Miak Mike was on HBCU Nightly, and he was just putting a bunch of stuff in the chat, and he used the V word.
Ooh, uh-oh.
So, for those who
listen,
don't know, you can't use virginity. That's instant ban.
Oh, well, I mean,
And he said something to the reference of Howard Virgin or whatever, something in that combination. Boom. The
are we
host didn't
live
know
on
why he
YouTube
was
now?
banned.
right. I'm
They
like, hold
couldn't
on, wait.
unban him. Yep, they couldn't unban him. It was the bots. They got a list of words, and you put them words in, it's a wrap for
Lord
you.
have mercy. Okay, so we're gonna steer clear of those two words. I'm gonna start saying special needs.
Right.
People are
Listen,
special needs.
again,
How's
you are
that?
still light
Can
in
I say that?
comparison because Marlo was telling them people to go
Listen,
K.
I already know.
He was
Marlo
telling people
crazy.
to go.
I love me some
I
Marlo.
was
He
like, oh
crazy though.
Jesus, oh Jesus. Hey Ashley, what's up, man? How you doing? You see, fan, you APR. So now they ain't got nothing to talk about but football this year. I don't want to hear nothing else but about football. DK, so FAMU had some APR issues, and certain people in a certain area of Mississippi want to throw up them APR every time we start talking about winning Black National Championships. So now they can't talk about them APRs.
uh,
And
oh,
for the most part, they're good people. They're good people. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. DK is on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, the ninth edition of the Madness Basketball Podcast. Myself, Miss Wright, DK is here. TP is on the
Sir.
way, and we have a special guest. Jamal is also on the way. Um, just to go ahead and just get into it right now. Um, ESPN done lost their goddamn mind. Stephen A, Pat McAfee, we on these platforms, and I know we feel like, and I ain't above it. I feel like I can say whatever I want to say, but sometimes you gotta check your mouth. like, hey, does this sound okay? Before you say it. And both Pat McAfee and Stephen A got this thing about saying whatever on their mind. Um, Pat has a little bit more leeway than Stephen A, but when Pat called Caitlin Clark, uh, I believe the phrase was white bitch, he made an apology. And this is his apology. Please pay attention to the apology.
About sports, uh, I utilize the descriptor that I certainly should not have used. Now, yeah, what was happening on the internet until a half hours later after the show ended, and I realized, and I started reading through a lot being said, and I felt like asked human on Earth for a good portion of my travels over to Hershey and then into last night, even during Monday Night Raw and flying home, and even into this morning from things that people were saying, going, damn, those were my intentions, but that's how you saw on me. I do apologize. To a lot of people, though, that were calling me racist, I had no idea that was impossible. I guess I am 0.01% Italian. I did take 23 of me, so I guess there is a little bit maybe, and I had no idea that.
Time out. The moment you try to remove yourself from a group that can be racist by pointing out your heritage and it's still white, big balls. Big balls. But I'm gonna let it rock. I'm gonna let it rock.
Or sexist, like that was not the 15 minutes leading up, or disrespectful to Kate. The 15 minutes leading up to that, I was literally talking about how I hope that the WNBA and sports media and ex-WNBA players would show a little bit more respect to Caitlin Clark for what she's brought to the WNBA in person on earth to Caitlin Clark. So that's a massive fuck up on my end. I apologize for that. I did out to Caitlin Clark through the fever PR, sent an apology, and then got a message back that she said was all good, no blood. Makes me feel a little bit better. To the people that got pissed off yesterday and offended, I understand. I learned a lot. Okay, I will say I learned a lot, because we are a show that anytime we talk about somebody, we have massive respect. We normally call them an absolute dog. That is just standard operating procedure. At the ESPYs, I literally called Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce assholes in the front row because they played football so good that somebody put a wolf and decided to go bank rob. So whenever I'm talking in the way I compliment is obviously not to everybody else. I have to keep that in mind whenever I'm talking maybe to a very new crowd about a very new sport. That we are diving into.
All right. So, a few things here. The WNBA
A new sport?
is not a new sport.
No. He said new sport to his audience. I think was what he was trying to say.
Okay.
I don't think it's new. I think he knew to tread lightly, but he said to his audience.
Yeah, he was talking about to his show and his audience. He's still an idiot, but
yeah, he's still.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Ms.
You still sound. See, I caught myself, Troy. I didn't say the R word.
We all learning.
Intrusive thoughts.
But so here's my Here's my dilemma, right? I want to go all in and badge Pat McAfee, but Stephen A was busy going to hold my beer because he was telling Monica McNutt. Oh, I'm sorry, he wasn't telling her. He was trying to get credit for being a mouthpiece for the WNBA
Mm-hmm.
and saying how he's championing them. Um, and then after he got checked on it, Monica checked him on it, real decent, like basically told him for the last 3 years he could have did more with his platform. He goes on his podcast and starts explaining to the world how he is he has made the women that have come on the show, how they have gone on to do greater things. But while he was doing that, forgot to leave out that um, Jamel Hill was on First and 10 with Skip Bayless before Stephen A was even on the channel again. Um,
Right.
so I'm just trying to figure out. I ain't trying to figure out. I said it. I understand why women are choosing the bear because we got people like Stephen A. and Pat McAfee running around here taking credit and saying stupid stuff that just make us men look dumb as hell.
Yeah, I feel like Pat was a little worse. It was cool that he understood what he did and all that because some people don't. Some people don't own up to it. But seemed a little deflection ish in his apology, sort of. It wasn't all the way there, but at least he acknowledged it. So, but his was, I think, worse than what Stephen A. did, to be honest.
But my whole thing is, and I mean, yeah, okay. That's my take on both situations. Yeah, okay. You, at the end of the day, like McAfee only apologized because he was told to apologize.
Right.
So it
And
wasn't
I think
genuine.
that it wasn't genuine at all. You were told to apologize. I don't care that you reached out to Caitlin Clark and her PR team and they said it's all good. What do you think they gonna say?
I'm like so far out of the loop. Can y'all just quickly fill me in as to what
Yeah.
happened? I've been so busy the last like 3-4 days. As you can see, I'm in a new background. This is my
Yeah.
I'm in my new house. My family's here
Whoa. Wait. What?
across the
What up,
country.
Tam?
Yep. It's been
What?
a
Yeah,
busy
no. So first
I
off,
Damn.
just slapped this
congrats,
desk
PP
together
got
that
in the
I'm
house.
Right.
yeah, like
Congrats.
I haven't even
Damn.
had a chance to like I ain't even got to put my chair together. I'm sitting on a porcelain stool, but I got my desk put together. Like literally, that's what was take. That's why I had to. I rushed home, start getting stuff, try to get the desk put together. We just got the internet turned on today. It
Heck
has
yeah. That's
been
awesome.
it's been a lot going on. But thank you.
Nice.
Man, look, blessings, blessings.
Right,
Well,
Yes,
to,
sir.
to
right.
catch you up, Pat McAfee
Hmm.
had a segment, and he was basically trying to show all the new blood in the WNBA, and he wanted to point out and give Atta girls to Caitlin Clark. Unfortunately, he called her that white bitch
Oh wow.
Yeah.
and thought that was okay, and proceeded to go about their day like everything is cool. Now, mind you, they a lot of the curse words that go on YouTube, their YouTube show, it's uncensored.
Right.
Sometimes on the linear TV show, they might beep or like cut out certain words. Not a
Hmm.
lot, but sometimes they do. This time, old Pat let it ride. Old Pat let it ride. And Stephen A. Let me see if I can find this video real quick because
That is crazy.
the Stephen A. Smith situation arose from Molly McNutt just basically saying, "Hey, you could do better." Let me go ahead and share my screen. And so, that's going on. Share this little screen here. Oh yeah, TP, you missed all the good stuff the last couple of days.
Man, I feel so disconnected right now. And I'm actually really upset with this desk I bought off Amazon. It's so short. That's why I'm like at this angle that I'm at. It's because the
Yeah, you
desk,
look huge, TP.
Yeah.
man, the desk is so small and it's like super short. I can't do it. It's only temporary. It's only temporary. This is like Julian size
All right,
desk
here
or
we go.
something.
Here's Stephen
Not
A.
at 17.
Here's Stephen A.
Come on, girl. Give me one more rebound, girl.
Meanwhile, DK is betting on WNBA.
What? Come on now.
Talking about some
Hello?
come on, girl.
Hell yeah. We don't discriminate. We love all sports.
Oh, I didn't
We love all
Hey,
sports. Men
share.
and
Hold on, I
women.
didn't share.
is Caitlin Clark's teammate still
I
not
didn't share.
defending
My
her?
fault. Let me click the
She cool.
button.
Or are they
I
still
got
letting her get her ass whooped out there?
nah. Miss Boston, she doing her thing. I can't even lie. I think that right. Aaliyah Boston. No, Aaliyah Boston's the one that's on the list. My fault.
Nah, here we go.
My apologies. Sometimes I have issues with Bright House, but all right, here we go.
Talking about them maximizing their great potential. And because we bring that up and talk about what potentially might get, which we do men all the time, now we got to sit up here and watch every syllable. I resent that, and I'll leave it.
All right, so let me. I know we got to go to break. Welcome to the world of being a woman, Stephen A. And how you have to dance about your word choice, and you have to please everybody and anybody as you navigate your. We are talking about the world's greatest
How about being a
athletes.
black man?
Okay,
Being black.
hold on 1 second.
Have you?
So this is what I'm saying to y'all though, and I know we got to go to break, and we didn't necessarily go there. Maybe we should. There are so many layers in this conversation around the way that it's being discussed. When you no, and yes, Shannon, I know y'all are gonna say and Stephen, I know you just shared that you talked about the WNBA on your program too, everybody. But the prevailing sentiment for folks that are just joining the WNBA and following women's sports is unfair to the women of this league, to your point, who have laid the groundwork for Caitlin Clark to come in and now take it to the next level. That's all I'm saying in these conversations. Kennedy Carter's behavior is not indicative of the entire league. We are still talking about competition where you are allowed to get a little extra elbow in if you are competing and you do it within the parameters of the game. The physical, Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all I'm at.
All right.
Who talks about the WNBA? Who talks about women? Who talks about women's sports more than First Take?
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
Wow.
All right, we got to go to you guys.
So
You're my guy, but
I don't know if it was the thing, but his face.
I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Don't do that. I'm talking to you with that you have.
Okay.
She said respectfully.
I got it.
To you.
I got it.
Guys, I really appreciate
my girl.
Yo, when she hit him that truth,
That was gold.
when she hit him with that truth.
Every word, syllable, letter in his entire soul
man.
left his body.
I ain't never seen nobody get stuck like that. That man was like,
Listen, he got caught in freeze frame.
Be like, yo, is this
But
camera all right?
he deserved it because
Yep.
what are you doing? And I have said this about Stephen A. Smith before in terms of his coverage of HBCUs, bruh. Like, don't hop on the bandwagon with Prime.
Can
You
can
went to an HBCU. What are you doing? You
can
should
I
have
say the
been using
word?
your pride, huh?
Can I use the word coon over here? Can I
No,
use that? I can't use that
no,
word.
you can't use that word.
Okay.
I think that's Troy. That's
Yeah,
on.
we
That's
can't.
that's
Yeah, that's on the
that's
bad
one of
list.
that's one of the band. That's one of the band words.
Uncle Tom, is that allowed?
Oh,
No, that's
TP,
loud. That's loud.
TP. Oh, that's allowed.
Uncle
Oh, okay,
Tom,
okay.
Tweety.
But I'm just saying, like, it's always bothered me about him that, you know, that even Shannon Sharp, y'all went to HBCUs. Why are you not talking about HBCUs before now? Why?
Because it wasn't popular.
It
It
wasn't
wasn't.
popular.
It got to
And
be the
let
hot
me tell
topic.
you this. Let me tell you this. Because you're on a platform like ESPN, who has consistently and historically stolen from Black people and HBCUs, you do have to do your Uncle Sam, Uncle Tom, what's whatever. What do they call it? You know, y'all seen the cartoon, the character, right? This tap dancing Sambo, right? Ain't that what it is, Sambo?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do that to make yourself look good in front of this audience of white people, and you can't ever tell the truth about the, like,
And
you
no,
dancing
but
around the facts.
let me tell you something. He'll come around every once in a while when it's a topic that's so egregious
But it's
that
only when it's
even the white
beneficial to
people agree
him.
with him. That's
It's
what I'm
only
saying.
when it's beneficial
It's
to him.
when it's so egregious, even the white people agree with him. That's when he gonna come in and be like, "I've been rocking with my black folks. I gotta hold it down." He gonna, he gonna use some big words and he gonna get loud. But at the end of the day, his content ain't really ever been focused on HBCUs or WNBA.
It hasn't.
And
And he hates to hear that, though. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people, is that we literally don't talk about certain things because we're afraid of how it's gonna make us look. Bro, you Black. Regardless of what platform you're on, you're Black. You went to an HBCU, so you should know how to advocate for HBCUs. How you got that big platform and you remain silent? So your silence shows that you're actually complicit with the things that are being done to HBCUs. Same with the WNBA, bro. Get out of here with that. Monica McNutt was right. She said what she said, and she was absolutely right. You should have
to
been use your platform to talk about the WNBA because it did not just become popular. Okay.
Steve, Stephen A has a media person who tells him what to talk about because his journalistic work ended a long time ago.
It
He's he's
absolutely
bas-
did.
he's basically a figurehead. He has the position and he's used in a way to push somebody else's narrative. These don't even be the things that he truly wants to cover. If it was up to him, he probably just covered Knicks games and that's it.
But
But
again, it's because of the platform he's on. He's on
right,
ESPN.
he's on
So
ESPN.
just, and I know I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, and I just, whatever. But it's the same thing with a platform like Anscape. Anscape is supposed to cover HBCU sports. It's supposed to cover Black people in sports, right?
Hmm.
But when you look at what they're covering, a lot of the times it really isn't the narrative that we need to push.
Right.
Like, don't give me fluffed up BS, right? And stop. Everybody wants the Black story and the HBCU story to be rags to riches. Like, we're not about that. Let's talk about the real stuff. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on at our HBCUs that debunk these myths. right? So we can stop doing dumb stuff like talking about alumni giving. But we can't because the narrative, and someone's in the comments talking about, yeah, it's not pushing the mainstream narrative. The mainstream narrative is that black people are either savages or we're poor.
Right.
And if we aren't savages and we aren't poor, then that means once upon a time we were. And so every story that's told about HBCUs and athletes, when you look at it, they love the human interest stories that talk about how this person was homeless or that person experienced murder, 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 right? Because that's the narrative that's going on about black people in mainstream media.
Don't
It's,
forget about
and
the
that's
black
why
kids getting adopted by white families.
the white savior syndrome, right? But look at y'all's convicted president. 34 times convicted of felonies, right? 34 felonies, right? His narrative now is, oh, he can get the black vote because black people used to getting convicted and treated unjustly. That's the connection you making? And we letting you
I
run
just
with that story? Like,
I
yeah,
just I just want to point out he was convicted by white people that look just like
just
him.
like him.
So
Hello.
Oh, and he
I
was mad
I
that Joe Biden called him a convicted felon. I did see that.
Man,
Yep.
because he called it what it was.
but
Right.
here is the other problem with Stephen A.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A has made himself a media person now. He is the subject. And if you are the subject, you can drive the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not doing that. And now you're having people, there are fans. I, I never thought I would see today that you would have, and it's crazy that he's the second most popular person at ESPN. But the second most popular person at ESPN being judged in a way, and he doesn't, there's no accountability. His hairline, the further the hairline goes, the bigger that ego goes, and he's doing less. So him popping in to Winston-Salem State and them popping in to South Carolina State. I popped into South Carolina State. I was on the campus more this weekend than they were during that little HBCU week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I, you know what? I'm gonna try and be a better person. But that being said, the actual issue is Caitlin Clark. And it's not that we don't like Caitlin Clark. We don't like her fans. Her fans have been the problem since they came up with them "Don't Be a Cheryl" shirt. Now them heifers, sorry. Now
See?
those fans.
Oh,
I'm trying to be DK. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. Now those fans have shown up in the WNBA because they're expecting, oh, Caitlin gonna show up and win a championship. She
Right.
couldn't get it done in college.
Right. I think it also
I
speaks
don't
to a
believe.
greater issue that it's not even just her fans, it's the people that just started watching women's sports in general.
that,
Um
I
People
like that,
that
yeah.
just started watching the
Same for me.
WNBA and think that she is the reason that the WNBA has relevance. This goes back to the conversation I was having on Twitter today, where this man, I called him a man. I ain't used the R word. Tried to say that Jackson State only had relevance because of Dion. You're ignoring their four Hall of Famers. You're you're ignoring their entire history. And so I was told to get the F out of here with these prehistoric facts. Baby, ain't nothing prehistoric when it's part of the program history.
I mean, the second
And that
greatest
is
running back in NFL history went to Jackson State. They
how
must
do
have.
you
How do we forget
you
about
not
Walter
think?
Payton?
That's what I told him. I was like, you literally have four Hall of Famers that went to JSU. Four, right? Slater played what 22
21 years.
years? Was it 21? 22? Something like
He
that.
played a long
Okay.
time with the Rams.
A long time. Okay. Walter Payton. They have an entire award named after this man.
Hmm.
But somehow you think that because it was so long ago that they did not have any relevance for
That's
Jackson
crazy.
State. That Jackson State has
Let
no
me help you.
relevance. So it goes back. So this whole thing, and we talked about this on the last show, is that when you ignore history, you perpetuate the madness and the ridiculousness and the other R word that I like to use, because you refuse to acknowledge historical perspectives that actually impact our present.
Right.
But you too dense and obtuse, and it's like I said last week, you willfully and woefully loud, wrong, obtuse, and stupid. Okay? Because you refuse to acknowledge our history. And that again is how we keep getting caught up in oppression, because we listening to what these other people got to say about us and telling us that our history don't matter. So now you repeating the same old BS, but now it just has a sports perspective. What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're so nice with them. You're so nice with them because
I'm
at
really,
some point
because I'm
it
trying
basically
not to.
comes down to fuck them kids.
Yeah, so I'm really trying. See, you could do that, right? But I can't, because people gonna be like, people gonna call Dr. Barnes. Dr. Barnes, you know your girl was on your girl was on this podcast.
Oh
Us
wait,
in it.
hold on. We're trying to be media partners. Let me hold on. Let me clean up my act. We're trying to be media partners. Let me do better. Let me do better. I'm sorry, y'all.
Listen, right?
My
Because before you get
apologies.
on that channel, we can't have cussing on that channel.
Trey love the kids.
She was
Trey
like,
love the kids.
oh, she was like that.
I love the kids.
But again, and it's
Oh,
it's sad because, and I think that this goes to a deeper level when we start taking stuff out of textbooks and out of our school systems, where we're not teaching historical perspectives about Black culture. Then you're making it okay for people to cancel Black culture out and cancel out the history of what makes us who we are, and you're okay with that now. And now you have people like this man who does not care about the history of Jackson State football. You literally told me to get out of here with these prehistoric facts because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that these four men, just these four men, at the least, I could go deeper, but you refuse to acknowledge these four men brought that Jackson State was relevant. They been relevant. Jackson State been relevant. Jackson State as a school has been relevant. So just because you don't know the history of the school, the history of the program, doesn't make them relevant. It just makes you ignorant.
so before I'm gonna say one thing before we get off the Jackson State thing. Um, History is important. I throw this up because I'm a FAMU fan. FAMU is the first FCS champion. They called it 1AA back then. However, what you don't know is in the semifinals of that championship year, they played Jackson State. Jackson State very well could have been FCS daddy, but it's FAMU
Yep.
who was daddy. So, but like I said, Caitlin Clark fans just, I don't, I know where it comes from because it comes from an area where the Midwest sometimes I feel like fandom is very different. And when y'all felt like y'all had one in Caitlin Clark, and DK, You tell me if I'm wrong. When they felt like they had them one and Caitlyn, they mounted up and they've been riding for her ever since.
I mean, well, because the thing is, we're the time that we're in right now. It's not like how back in the day we like to bask in the things that like a good Biggie album or like like any artist or any ball player or whatever. Nowadays we're like on to the next type of thing. So the NBA side and the college the men's side was so what was the next best thing? Miss Caitlin Clark. So and then like with the whole revelation of like trying to, and we should be bigging up women's sports, but so that's why everybody's she was the next best thing, so everybody's gonna just tag along and ride this wave as opposed to knowing some of the history behind and but it's hard to like go against her or be against this narrative about Caitlyn when it's just it's positive. Let's call it what it is. She's we're not mad at, like you guys saying, we're not mad at her. We just mad at the ignorant people, But
I don't even know if I'm necessarily mad at the fans. I think I'm more mad at the fact that people don't. What's the word? They don't understand what they're looking at.
yeah,
They're looking at a rookie who is getting pretty much chastised into the WNBA and doesn't have teammates that actually have her back. She's a good player, but she's not the greatest player to step on the WNBA court.
mm-hmm.
She's not
Right.
having the greatest rookie season ever. Go back and look at Candace Parker rookie season. Then we'll talk about a great season right out the bat. You know what I mean?
They
Like
can.
she's
You can look at Cheryl Swoops.
Cheryl Swoops as well.
Mm-hmm.
Back to
Come
back to
on,
back to back
Lisa Leslie.
championships
What are we
for,
talking
for,
about?
for my Houston Comets. But
That's
I think the real problem is just that she doesn't have teammates that actually have her back, and she's getting chastised and she's getting abused because she's little. She's only 6 feet, 140 pounds, and they are literally bullying her.
But she's a bully. She been a
Yeah,
bully since college.
she
And
the way she
that's the
talked.
side of the story that people aren't mentioning. They're not. So you looking at Kennedy Clark, right? I mean, I said Kennedy Clark, Lord.
Yeah,
Taylor, we know who you talking about.
it's
You
not
good? You
I'm
Kennedy. It's,
good?
sorry.
it's
Yeah, I
Kennedy.
know you're
It's
talking
Kennedy.
about
But
Kennedy.
you
Kennedy.
looking
It's
at,
Kennedy Clark.
yeah. You they're not showing the pieces of Caitlin Clark talking her ish,
I mean,
right?
she was
You
talking
not
mad. She was
ever.
talking mad shit in college all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
But
And
she
they
don't.
never
But
showing that. But when your dad looks at you during the finals and tells you to be quiet because he knows his child and he knows that she gonna talk her ish and run her mouth and complain, she's a great flopper. If you look at that foul, she flopped the heck out of that, right? But the thing is, like, you gonna get initiated. They do the same thing in the NBA. Charles Barkley, he would talk about your mama and throw a drink on her in the middle of the game and dare you to eject him. Dennis Rodman was crazy as hell, right? They did they dirt, they talked they ish, or whatever the case was. Every rookie there's some sort of initiation, right? Now, I'm not saying that Kennedy's foul was correct. It was a cheap shot. It was wrong. Shouldn't have done it.
Hold on. Because I'm seeing bully in the chat. So let's rewind.
Uh-oh.
Before the girl got knocked on her behind, let's rewind. There was several plays earlier when Caitlin Clark chopped that girl in the throat on a rebound.
Right.
This was retaliation from that, and Kennedy made reference to that incident in her interview.
Yes.
She said, "Hey, y'all have only been watching that one play.
Yeah.
Watch the whole game."
And that's the point I was
She
making.
made reference to that play,
Right.
and maybe 2 times. I think CNN showed it and another news show showed it where Kennedy got basically chopped in the throat. These things aren't happening in a vacuum.
No, not at all.
Yes, her teammates are terrible. And her teammates are telling you without saying it, Caitlin Clark is not a good teammate. Why is the whole team chilling out on the boat on the lake and Caitlin Clark is nowhere to be
Yeah,
found?
that's what's not cool.
This ain't one of them Kobe situations because Kobe used to go to the club, pay for the drinks, and leave. This ain't that. They genuinely don't like her. So when I see people say, "Oh, the teammates are bad," no, the teammates have probably tried to tell her, "Hey, don't do this, don't do that. Everything gonna be fine."
Yep.
She want to do it her own way. She got to find out the hard way. Like my daddy used to say, "A
Her,
soft head,
her
a hard
is the
head make a
soft
soft mind."
ass.
And while we talking about bad teammates, let's talk about the Chicago Tribune. Ain't no way a reporter from the Chicago Tribune is getting in my locker room after you done drug one of my players in an editorial. Nah, player, you know what? You can sit outside. We'll give you a press release. Ain't no
So
way.
then he gets mad, files a grievance, and then they fine them $5,000.
Yep.
No, I'm not. It ain't. We ain't got a rap. Ain't nothing to rap about.
So it's not okay to
Again,
say that I don't want to talk.
No,
And then
you
they
can't
go,
do that. Like you have to make yourself available to the media. It's like that with all pro sports, right? But again, like from a PR perspective, like typically I would just be like, "Hey, show up." But I honestly can't even be mad at Angel for not showing up for that, right? Because I don't want to sit there and answer questions about Clayton Clark every chance that I have an interview. All y'all want to do is talk about Clayton Clark.
yeah, my response every time is, do you have any questions about me?
Yeah,
And if the answer is no, then we'll conclude this news conference.
yeah.
Because
But I
or you
think
can do beast mode.
it's a learning experience for Angel, right? So Angel and I say this again, so y'all already know, like I'm always gonna take it back to communications, PR, and branding, right? You you gotta protect your brand, yes. There has to be someone there that says, go ahead, sit down, make yourself available, but here's your response, right? Pull
right,
a Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. You you're not doing anything wrong. You have shown up and you are literally there so you don't get fined. Now, $1,000 fine is not it's not that bad, right? We're looking at okay, that's small potatoes. Um, but I think that we're beginning to see the impact of people pushing false narratives, misinformation, disinformation, and their their own misunderstanding of the WNBA because again, they just started watching it. So sit down, shut up, and learn something. Then formulate some opinions because if you did, then you would not be saying dumb stuff like Caitlin Clark made the WNBA relevant.
yeah,
Caitlin Clark is a great player. But just like Dion did not make JSU relevant, Caitlin Clark did not bring relevancy to the WNBA. There are people that are brought in and their name and their platform, their own personal branding elevates and enhances what already exists. It doesn't mean that they created the platform for these things to exist. They're adding to it as they should. But we get into this mindset where it's like, oh, they so great that they made this person. Just like Stephen A messed up and said, oh, have you ever heard of Monica McNutt? Oh, well, you have now because I've had these ladies on my show. If you don't sit your 2 cent down before I make a little bit of change out of the little bit of value that you bring to us, come on now.
I just want to say that I want to be a media partner, so I'm not going to say what I want to say.
I'm I'm listening. Sure, I'm treading lightly today. I really am. Someone's in the chat saying revenue has to increase significantly. It's supposed to.
Oh, my
That's
turn.
why
My
you. That's
turn.
why you
My
draft
turn.
these players. That's why you bring these players
My
into the
turn.
league.
So revenue. Let's talk about revenue. If revenue increased like everybody's saying it has, why these ad rates ain't changed?
Man.
Because I can tell you 3 years ago, when a certain new sport news network decided that a HBCU football game in Miami was worth selling, them ad rates changed. When
I
things
ain't got no tea. I
change,
got some strawberry lemonade that I'm sipping on because I ain't got no tea. But go ahead, keep going. I'm gonna sip on this like it's some tea.
when them ad rates change, is when the value change. Because what you're saying to your marketing partners is, hey, if you want to get in, this how much it costs.
Mm-hmm.
And can I add to that? Because let's not confuse overall impact with local impact. Revenue has significantly increased for the local market. And we know that. And that's a great thing. That is what stars are supposed to do for the teams that they're on. Right? But let's not act like the WNBA wasn't increasing in revenue and attention before this season. Okay. Um, Again, I'm not discrediting anything that Caitlin Clark has brought to the game from her college years through now. There's no disputing that. She is a great player. She's great for women's basketball. She's great for sports in general. But again, when we talk about revenue generation, it moves in like at minimum a 3 month mover. Most of the time, you're looking at a 6 to 12, sometimes 18 months before ad rates and marketing costs to be a sponsor and things like that actually catch up with the revenue generated. It's not immediate. It's not immediate. And it's not immediate because they want to see if it's going to sustain itself.
And I I say that all the time because the business of the sport moves everything.
Mhm.
Like people get caught up in wins and losses. Let me tell you something. When the Dallas Mavericks wasn't really doing much and they had Luka, they was put butts in seats.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling local advertisements. What's happening right now locally in Indiana is great. They're putting butts in seats. They using other arenas. It's great. It has not transitioned to New York. It has not transitioned to Atlanta. So Dallas, the TV deals, that's the big thing. Once the media rights deals start to make some moves, the salaries gonna change. Them coaches' wages gonna change. That union gonna be able to do something they ain't never been able to do. They're gonna be able to go, you know what, we ain't gonna play.
I think it's only a matter of
The
time.
WNBA cannot do it.
It's only a matter of
Yep.
time. And this season actually felt super rushed too. I don't know the inner workings of how all these leagues decide on when they start their season, but even coming from all the players and even the media people, they've said that like this season felt like it sped up on them. So give this another calendar year with these girls. Ooh. Me personally, I can't wait.
And
Mm-hmm.
we just like one of the good stories out of this season is in LA with Cameron Brake. She is a
What?
supermodel.
No,
She
no,
is, yes, she's
no,
playing
absolutely
well.
not.
She's a
No, no,
supermodel.
she ain't nothing. Let's talk about my Connecticut Sun because they over there hooping this season. They is hooping over there still.
Right. And
Was, they was
I
going.
also want to say, and I know that I'm kind of reading through the comments. Someone said that the revenue for the WNBA increased 200%. It actually increased 200% last season in 2023. So that increase was pre Caitlin Clark. And so when we're looking at revenue impact and revenue increase, yes, I think that there was excitement that was being built up. I don't want to discredit the people that blazed the trail for her either. There was a lot being done to enhance the WNBA brand. They had very intentional marketing and things like that that impacted their revenue. Um, so um, I just want to say, and I'm not saying that you tied it to Caitlin Clark. I'm reading the
Nah,
comments.
nah, yeah, he
I'm
definitely
saying
did it. Yeah.
I'm saying that the increase was not this year. The increase happened last year. Okay. So the increase was 200% from 2022 to 2023. That's my point. So we're not talking
We won't
about a
even know this
200%
year's
increase
numbers.
now. Huh?
Yeah, you don't
We
get the
won't even
numbers
know
until after the
this year's
season.
numbers till next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he was just saying that like as a general statement. Really, I don't think like you had just said he wasn't. He definitely wasn't tying that to Kate. He actually said that like prior to what he had said.
Well, I think the big thing and that we can all see is the fact that the WNBA is growing in popularity. That's the
Absolutely.
biggest thing. And with popularity comes the money. And with the money comes better deals, shoe deals, media deals, better and longer contracts, more guaranteed money within these contracts. There's a lot built on the amount of popularity a sport has. So with
Yeah.
them gaining popularity, we can only, expect to see increase in every other thing that's associated with that.
Absolutely. And that's the intent. That's always the intent. For every brand, for every sport, for every team, local, national, global, the intent is always you want more viewership, you want greater eyes on it, you want more eyes on the content because, like Bully Bree said, more eyes means more opportunities. And so, from our perspective, like when in our conference, like I love talking about how many views and impressions that we get. Because when we're talking to partners and we're talking to people that can partner with us, that's critical. You want to know that your stuff is getting in front of the people that you want to target. So yes, like we should we should be celebrating the fact that the WNBA has more views and more attention now more than ever. That's a good thing. That means it's growing. And so for the people that constantly tie the growth in with something other than what it is weird to me. And Bully Breed, I'm not saying that you did that. I apologize. I didn't mean to I wasn't trying to call you out earlier. I was just saying I was really agreeing with you. Like the WNBA's revenue increase is not due to Caitlin Clark, which a lot of people are saying. It happened before she got here. And it's not to discredit anything that she's doing. That stadium should be selling out because of her. You want to see greatness. People people ain't some people
Jamal,
ain't
sir,
care, some
welcome,
people ain't
welcome.
care about the Bulls. They wanted to see Jordan. They became a basketball fan because they love Michael Jordan. So let's not act like this is not fandom, right? This is what fans do.
Yeah, the blame got to be on media. They got to do a better job in covering and for as much as we throw out the history in men's sports, I mean, they come on, like we were saying before with their platforms, they could very easily do that with the things that have happened in the WNBA, the things that have
Absolutely.
been left forgotten, teams that have just you know not been talked about, and it's kind of annoying actually. Come to think of it.
They don't want to do that. So it's you have. So I'm 33, right? I've been watching WNBA since 1999, 2000. And at the time, I think they were playing games on like Lifetime, the women's network, right? Because they were trying to grow the game amongst women primarily, right? So their original target audience was just women, not sports fans in general, as it should be. So now you flash forward to 27 years later, and now all eyes are on the league. I still think that the growth caught them off guard, unfortunately. Those of us that have been watching women's sports forever, like we knew this shift was coming. You could see it. You could see it with Candace Parker and how she played the ball, played the game. Maya Moore and what Maya Moore did the short time that she was there. But it's just the league was still caught slipping, right? Now, it is amazing that everybody wants to watch it and enjoy it and consume it. Is like you said, is the media. So this narrative around Caitlin Clark started her junior year, maybe. Like if you weren't paying attention to women's basketball prior to that, you don't know who she was. Like she was ranked coming out of high school. So once they started kicking the narrative of she's going to be break the scoring title, people not realizing that the current person that holds the scoring title was Kelsey Plum at the time, and she had 2 championships in Las Vegas.
So they
So
trying to
exactly. So
trying to
and the
catch up.
media is always going to pick decisiveness because it shares, right? So think about back in '04 when no, was it '04 or '08? When Candace Parker won that first championship against Rutgers. Remember what Don Iman said on his show? He called the entire Rutgers
Yep.
women's basketball team a bunch of dappy-headed hoes. And the media took it and ran with it. It got him kicked off the air for a while, but a lot of people agreed. They agreed, even though the Rutgers team was both of those teams were black. But if you go back and look at the makeup, not just the racial makeup of those teams, but how the women on those teams looked, then you go, oh, I see why he said it. It wasn't just racism; it was also colorism tied in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
The media is gonna always pick decisiveness again. Like they did it with LSU versus Iowa that first year, and then they turned around and respit the same narrative of again with Iowa versus South Carolina State.
And and so just so everybody know, I asked Jamal to come on the show because we do not get on both shows. We do not get to cover the WNBA like I would like to. We just don't, right? Everybody know I love Liv for hoops. I can't get her on any of the shows. I don't know why.
Hey, Liv be
I've
busy.
made
She
pleas.
building the brand.
I know she be busy, so I'm like, man, if I can get on the show, but I don't want it always to be just our voices. So I bring on voices that are not our own. So Jamal agreed to come on. I thank you so much.
No
This
problem.
entire thing is interesting, mind-boggling, frustrating. It is the entire human experience in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We haven't made it to the midway point of the season, and I'm already flipping over tables. So, and we can we talk about the fact that we making all this ruckus about a team that might not make the playoffs?
But they're not gonna
Can
make the playoffs, and they're not gonna make the playoffs because people want to blame the players when it's really the coaching. You can't tell me that a decorated player like Aaliyah Boston And Alyssa Taylor, who was a walking double-double machine last year, forgot how to play basketball over the course of a winter. That's not how basketball works. When you don't have a coaching staff that knows how to build relationships amongst teams, you get what they got: disjointed, bad basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel vindicated. I feel vindicated. All right. So I'm gonna make a whole bunch of people mad. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of
Here
people
we
mad,
go.
y'all.
Here we go.
It's just I'm gonna make a whole bunch of people mad. Just go ahead and get this out the way now. What is Jason Tatum's legacy if he can't win a championship?
Uh,
Troy. Troy. Troy.
Did John Stockton ever win a championship?
Troy.
Nope.
Nope.
There you go. You remember him when it makes sense to remember him, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be Jason Tatum if he doesn't win a championship. You'll remember him when you have to remember him, right? Like what? Well, John Stockton does still lead the league in assists.
right. Yeah, that's all I was gonna say.
So
Like he got to do something, man. He
yeah,
gonna be forgotten quick. Actually,
he gotta do something. Like he has to like pick a category and just dominate it. Or we forgot about Steve Kerr until he started coaching.
Mitch Wright, what you got to say? Because clearly I done struck a nerve.
Oh, I'm chilling.
no, not about 2 seconds ago.
I'm chilling. Oh yeah, I got my oh Jamal, yeah, you missed out. I get so Jamal, hey, I'm Danny. I'm fire and water.
Oh, that's
Play,
nice.
play around with me, see which one you get.
I like that. No, I get to be here. I work in CST time and live in Eastern Standard Time, and looked at my watch and was like,
That's the story of my life.
Yeah.
Before I moved, I was out, and then when I go home, I'll be looking at my stuff. It's all in CST.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be a full hour ahead of time, thinking I'm late for stuff, calling people all early in the morning, texting. I'm like, oh Lord, it's only whatever time So
yep.
I feel your pain. But yeah, you missed out on my rant. I think each time I come on here, I have a little rant about branding and communications and the mistreatment of HBCUs by Black people.
Oh yeah.
I didn't. My rant is over, so I'm sorry. You got to catch
Oh
the
no,
replay.
I'll go back and replay
Yeah,
it.
you got to catch the replay.
You know what? Who's rather quiet? TP and DK real quiet on this Jason Tatum thing.
Oh, I was just waiting my turn, man. He's got to show me something. God dang it, he's got to show me something. But I, in a sense, though, kind of feel a little bit bad because of like the flag that he got at the end of that Eastern Conference Finals, just because Jaylen Brown sat there and did his thing. I feel like that wasn't completely fair to Tatum because Tatum did his thing, but just because somebody he took his game to another level. Yes, we wish that it was Tatum, but Tatum still had 30 in the same game that dude had 30. So it was just that Brown he had a string of games where he had 40. He had a couple games where he had 40. He did slightly better than his other teammates. So I feel like that wasn't fair, but in terms of winning the chip, though, he got to get it done. Simple as that. They got to get it done. Both of them really got to get it done. It's not just Tatum. It's Brown too. Because if they don't, then if they both going to get flack for it. One of them is like, one of them got to go, or that's what everybody going to be talking about. If they lose, should that be the case? Sadly, no. You can't. But that's what's going to be talked about if they don't get it done.
You know how Boston fans are. They're going to be ready to run them out of town the same night.
Yeah, because this is not one season now. This ain't two, actually, either.
Yep.
It's the third time.
So how do you feel? How do you feel about Porzingis coming back for Game 1?
Need it. it's needed. I think he's going to be fine too. He's gonna be the X factor.
You know,
Time out.
I was talking to people earlier. They said that the Dallas Mavericks have the upper hand, and I was like trying to figure out where.
It's going to be
Kyrie
there.
Irving.
It's going to be there.
Ky-
Kyrie
no,
Yeah,
Irving.
Kyrie is here.
they have a good team. That's why they made it to the finals. But where is their upper hand? Where is
Kyrie
that?
Irving.
No, I
Kyrie
say
Irving does
KP.
not create any type of matchup nightmare for Boston. They have guards that can guard him. They can hold him under 30 points. If you're telling me right
Uh-oh.
now that Kyrie is gonna drop 35 a game, I don't know what series you've been watching because I don't see it.
No, and not that he's going to drop 35 a game. So put it this way, I like Minnesota. I was like, I think Minnesota gonna beat them, and then I started watching the game. And once looked at one of my coworkers, I was like, hey, Dallas gonna win just based on sheer experience. I'm still liking Kyrie. The experience level is about the same for him and Jaylen Brown and
What about
Tatum
Drew Holiday, who's won a
and
championship as
Drew
well
Holiday.
and been
Oh
in the
shit,
league
I
for 10
forgot Drew
years?
Holiday was over
Yeah,
there.
they got both of them over
Yeah,
there.
they got and Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday
Come
is there
on
tonight.
now.
Where's
Some
the
respect.
matchup?
Hold on.
Where's the matchup nightmare? Where's
But
the
okay,
matchup
that's where
nightmare?
it depends
Yep.
on how healthy KP is. Because if he's not healthy and he can't also play defense, as much as we like to talk about his offense, if he can't play defense, it's about to be Lob City all day, and you know that.
Yeah,
So if he can't defend that,
Gafford for
Al
me.
Horford not defending the lob.
Nah,
No,
Hear
he
me out.
not.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, KP not there. It might get.
It might get a little sticky
Hear,
for
hear
them.
me out. Hear me out. Just hear me out. I have not said nice things about Kyrie in 2 seasons until the last 3 weeks. If you would have told me going into the Western Conference Finals, Kyrie would be dancing all over Minnesota, I would have told you, but not really. I don't know a single soul in Boston, the entire city, that can guard Kyrie. Kyrie is the problem. Kyrie wore down Minnesota's best player. That's the issue. I don't
See,
like nothing about Luka on defense.
nah,
If Luka got to play
Luka
defense,
made Rudy look stupid though the entire series.
that was a bad coaching matchup. That should have been a hedge and get over the top of the screen. Ain't no way that man should be one on one. He shouldn't be a one on one with no guard.
Hey,
That was bad
isn't he
coaching.
defensive player of the year though?
Yeah, you got it. He got it.
That
And now
defensive player of the year.
if you have been named the best defender in all of the NBA, then you should be able to stick with the best player on that team over there. Or why you winning that award?
So I am old enough to remember the Dikembe Mutombo being defensive player of the
Okay,
year.
but he broke
And
records. He was going crazy. Rudy ain't doing that.
Rudy and the Dikembe Mutombo should not be in the same sentence for no reason
You
at
know,
all.
come on now.
Don't even
Thank
do
you,
that.
Jamal. Thank you, Jamal.
No. Nope, we ain't doing that.
I'm just trying to give context.
For
Big
what?
men who are defensive players of the year are usually on ball defenders. When Rudy is on the perimeter, he ain't no on ball defender. He just on skates. Let's just keep it a buck. He is just on skates. That should have never been the matchup.
So the media need to
But
take their
again,
award back is what I'm hearing.
all this, I got a guy who tells me all the time about the greatness of Derek White. And he keep telling me what a great defender he is and all this stuff. Let me tell you something. I looked at his stats. Derek White is a career 12-point scorer. 12.
What that got to do with his
Stop
defense?
telling me about his greatness.
What that got to do with his defense?
I'm waiting on it.
Thank you, Jamal.
Derek
Come
White
on,
is
man.
the
Wait on it.
beneficiary of team defense. Team defense. I'm not looking at Derek White going, oh man, he just stole the ball from that
Team
dude. Yes,
defense.
when he had a smaller dude that posted him up for some strange reason. Indiana Pacers, why y'all posting up Derek White with a 6'1" dude? Please explain that to me. But I'll let that go. He gets a block. He's supposed to get that block. He taller than that dude. But
He been known as a defender
we've
since he
seen
was
too
with San
many.
Antonio.
Y'all keep selling me on this Derek White narrative.
Derek White and Drew Holiday.
And whenever
You gonna
there's
put some respect on
actually
his
an
name.
offensive player in front of him, he get bunt. I'm
You
just
just mad
telling
because
you,
they
if they
both point
put
guards.
him on Kyrie gonna go stupid. Their best bet is to let Derek White chill out for this series.
All right,
Let
now.
Derek White get it. If oh my god,
Well, who else gonna guard
that
them?
sweet.
I was just about to say that. Who gonna guard him?
There isn't anybody in the city to guard Kyrie.
So you
I'm
just gonna let
telling
him
you
go?
this.
You're not gonna get
Kyrie
tired.
is in his
Somebody
bag.
got to guard him.
What's your prediction? Dallas and what?
So I got two different predictions.
Nah,
If Porzingis is hold on, and this is the if Porzingis is healthy and plays like an actual center, unlike Big Cat, plays like an actual center, Celtics sweep him.
I
If I
mean,
see him
Jim,
floating on that perimeter,
Jimmy
Hold on,
Butler
this
tried
nigga
to
so
tell
I
us
see
about
him
Big
floating on
Cat
that
10
perimeter
years
too
ago and
much.
nobody wanted to listen. So, okay, you can't compare that.
If he not in that paint, it's going 6 games and Dallas gonna win. Porzingis is the key.
I can't believe you sat there and just said that. After all you said, you got Boston in 4. Okay.
If he healthy, he got to be healthy and in the paint. That's the hard part. Listen, we have learned thanks to Big Cat. Some of these dudes don't like to get in the paint no more. That
Jimmy
they have.
Butler told us about Big Cat and nobody wanted to listen.
Right.
He told us this man sucked 10 years ago.
I'm so mad with me because they played so well against the Denver Nuggets. I'm like, oh, Big Cat getting it.
They just had the
Never,
formula to beat them.
ever
That was all.
again,
Exactly.
ever again will I believe they should ship Big Cat off to the Clippers.
They
Big
get one
Cat
back.
needs to learn that he's not a stretch three and that he's an actual forward and get his
Mm-hmm.
ass in the paint.
Exactly.
But Rudy Gobert is such a
I still,
liability these days. Like that, I cannot fathom how he was the defensive player of the year. Nobody's afraid of him.
I just seen him. I saw everybody go at him all year long. I was just staying surprised by that.
Nobody's afraid. Usually, when you win defensive player of the year, it's because people were afraid of you. People
Yeah.
were afraid of Kawhi. They were afraid of Giannis in the paint.
Yep.
Nobody was afraid of Rudy Gobert. He got a lot of stats because people tried him all year.
You're right.
They say,
That is
"Oh,
so
Rudy."
true.
They say
You're right.
Rudy in the paint. Oh, he's sweet. I'm going in there.
Go at him.
Right.
Yep.
Go at him.
Meanwhile, people actually don't want to shoot against Wembley. They still had to try because they would be put in bad situations and still get their shit blocked. He led the league with over 3.5 blocks a game.
That man's head is also next to the basket. What exactly you gonna do?
Right. I mean, I wouldn't. He's blocking floaters. Okay, this is
Yes, he
crazy.
blocked floaters. He blocked dunks.
He's a different breed, but I just don't think that the Timberwolves were set up for the long haul because Rudy Gobert he slows down the offense so much. And then to be in liability on defense on the other end, you
Yep.
can't play like that
Yep.
because when what you gonna do? Your offense is too slow. When you got two bigs on the court, one of them can't shoot, The other one don't want to rebound.
So you got Anthony Edwards out there shooting and rebounding his own shot.
Right. And then he was too inconsistent, which was my biggest, concern with him going into the playoffs. I said he's one of the greatest players in the NBA right now, possibly on MVP watch going into next season, but he's too inconsistent at shooting the long ball. And that's
How old
exactly
is
what
he?
he's
22?
20. Yeah,
22, yeah.
22.
I
I
think he
mean, he
just
got a
got
long
tired.
off season.
Yeah, he gonna come back. He gonna be better. He needs to work on his shooting, the consistency, because there were too many games and too many stretches in the playoffs where he just wasn't hitting shots, and that was putting his team in bad situations. There's no way Denver should have ever been in that series. The series really should have been 4-1 and moving on. But they wasted so much time over there with Denver. They were tired going into the Dallas series. And a lot of those games, you see, they're doing good in the first half, and then they run out of gas. That's
Yeah.
because it's such a long season to then have long playoff series. You ain't got nothing left by the time you get to the Western Conference Finals with your big, slow ass centers that don't want to move.
I agree with that.
So, since I'm wrong, who is going to guard Kyrie?
Drew Holiday.
Drew
Yeah.
and Derek White, they're
Yeah,
gonna
both of
take
them. Yeah.
turns.
They're gonna have to either run two at him or take turns. You can't you
I
not they're
take
not gonna be able to leave him by himself. They're definitely not gonna be able to let him bring the ball up all willy nilly and set up the offense how he wants to. With Kyrie,
look.
you have to take his vision. Like if you don't take his vision before he get the ball in his hand, you cooked.
The problem
I
was
tell
with
I tell I tell you what, it ain't gonna be nowhere near as bad as what they when Timberwolves had Conley on him. He abused Conley. It
exactly.
is like these two, the two guys that the Celtics are coming with are a far cry better than Michael Conley in the
Mike
defensive.
Conley.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah. Shit, I got Peyton
I don't know
Pritchard over
why
Mike
Mike
Conley.
Conley is
Oh
catching
no,
strays
but
today.
still, like even with Drew Holiday on him, I like him. Kyrie still can potentially get around him, but that's just because he's Kyrie. Like I'm interested to see how they guard it, how they set it up though.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
the thing.
he Kyrie, bro.
Yeah, yeah. But like the thing was with Minnesota, they only had it was only Edwards. McDaniels kind
hmm
of stayed guarding the forwards for the most part, and yeah, they would downsize a lot. Like they would sometimes only be running Cat or Gobert out there at a time. So as opposed to with Boston, they got a lot of guys. It's not all on Anthony to run offense, and now he got to guard either one of these two on offense. So while the other one is cooking Edwards, the other one is just cooling. So now that they both got real defenders on them, let's
yeah,
see,
it's gonna
see
be a
what's up.
different. It's gonna be a different series for sure. I think this is gonna come down to a battle of the bigs. It's gonna be Gafford versus Horford. Tatum, can he play in the
Tatum.
paint? Can he play in the paint? Because he's gonna have to if Porzingis isn't still at 100%.
Yep.
You
Right.
know, you
And he
know,
gonna I mean he gonna have to he gonna be catching bodies, right?
yeah,
He
he
gonna
gonna
have
have
to
to.
he gonna have to. He's not gonna have a choice, and I think that's where you're gonna see you gonna see the real Jason Tatum, baby.
Oh
He
I'm
gonna
man,
have
I'm
to.
I'm predicting
I know he's gonna come out.
I'm predicting a 4-2 Celtics with Jalen Brown MVP. That's my prediction. June 4th. You heard it here first.
Street's gonna be mad with that.
TP, you just choosing chaos.
Oh, I love
You are
chaos.
literally choosing
But he
I
chaos.
loves that though.
You know,
Like
you
y'all
know,
know
you
that.
know who my favorite character in Batman was? The Joker,
The
Oh
Joker.
my god.
because he incited chaos.
Chaos curator.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
them Boston fans, 3.2 seconds after they announced Brown as the MVP, Oh, them people gonna be trying to get rid of Jason Tatum.
Oh, it's coming.
60
Honestly,
million?
that either
Oh,
one
they
of
gonna be
them,
trying to trade him.
either one of them or both of them cook. No matter how this playing out, if they lose, both their asses cook.
Oh
If
yeah.
they win, if Jalen Brown is MVP, Jason Tatum pack your house up. Like, no matter what
Bring
happens.
bring on the chaos is all I'm saying.
Fuck all the love. Give me chaos.
Give me
Hey,
chaos.
chaos sell tickets. Look at the
It
WNBA
does.
right now.
Yep,
Oh
It
man.
does.
absolutely.
Like chaos sells
Oh,
tickets.
But that's the media, right?
oh.
Like that's what the
Yes.
Yeah.
media. That's what the
Yeah.
media does. So
Who
if you look at all the narratives, like hell, look at Trump. Trump is the most chaotic president ever, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
Like
he
that
he
man
won
make money
he
off of his chaos,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
and
he
people
won off
love a juicy
chaos.
story.
He
But y'all know
did. He won off chaos and fear.
but but
Absolutely.
but I think the craziest thing that we always seem to forget is our vote didn't mean shit. We didn't vote Trump into office. He lost the
No, our
popular
vote
vote.
didn't mean anything because we didn't vote.
No, I mean I'm saying
That
the
was the
votes
problem.
that did go. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the popular vote. The popular vote, he lost it. He won the
We
Hmm.
electoral
have, yeah.
college, but he lost the popular vote. Meaning
Oh yeah.
we as the people,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
and I'm
We
saying
voted
I'm
against him.
saying that
We don't
like
want
black,
him.
white, brown, all people, whoever did
Yes.
vote, that vote did not matter because he still won, even after losing the popular
Yeah, I
vote.
feel you. I feel you.
That's all I was
Because
saying.
it's and that's what people don't understand.
I'm a
The election is never about the popular vote. That's why
It's not.
it's important for us to vote in our local and state elections because those
there you
representations
go.
are actually what make up the electoral college,
Exactly.
not the popular vote. So the electoral college is what decides the president.
I mean,
So
but
Exactly.
when
Exactly.
huh?
Which means that we do not live in a democracy. We live in a republic.
No.
nah, but to take it a step further, it's like I told this to some of these young kids that work for me. Your local elections have a greater direct impact on your life than federal elections.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So when you look at how they have repelled RV Wade and all of these things, Republicans pretty always yell states' rights. Get a state the right to choose. So had you taken your state and local government election just as serious as you take the federal ones, then no matter what they repealed, your life would not have changed because you have direct elected officials that line up with how you want to you live your life and what you agree and what you don't agree with.
Yep.
I will say this and I will keep saying this. The Tea Party had a plan 20 years ago.
Yeah.
TP.
The Tea Party had a plan 20 years ago. So they decided that they was gonna start from dog catcher to city council
Hmm.
to all of that.
Yep.
And that's how we got to where we is now.
Yep.
And all politics is local.
Yep.
Period. Um I didn't have it in the rundown, but I should have had it in the rundown because it popped up late. Gino got himself a 5-year deal. And I don't care what none of y'all say, that man made a deal with the devil because he older than what they saying. He is going into his 40th season. He's gonna get 18 million.
So REM,
18 million.
Right.
you talking about Luigi?
Yes.
Ah,
Luigi still out
Yes.
here pimping you, car?
yeah, man.
Boy, look at here. You know what? He's going to retire before the deal is done. Honestly,
Oh yeah.
depending on how this next freshman class look, if he can't, he can't beat Don right now. He can't beat Don, and a lot of the West Coast kids choosing to stay home now. If this next 1.5 freshman class ain't to his liking, he gonna be on his retirement tour.
How many years is that contract?
85.
I didn't want to say it out
Oh.
loud, but Dawn is
What is it? A
Dawn
life
is the
contract?
changing of the car. 5 year, $18 million.
He'll be gone in
Going
3.
into his 40th season.
He'll
Yeah,
be gone in 3. He'll be gone in 3.
right. If he don't get one, if he don't
If,
get
if
this
he
next, if he don't get this next one, yeah,
if he don't get this
it's gonna
next
be
one
rough.
and he not, because my early favorites is I'm going South Carolina USC for the championship in an entirely too early prediction, but hey, it's basketball.
Love me some Juju.
Yeah.
I
Juju,
love me some Juju.
Juju, exactly. He
Don't
ain't
now,
getting that next
listen.
one.
I know what I said on Twitter. I love Page too. I love Page too. But Juju is
Juju
different.
different. Yep.
Juju.
Juju different, man.
You know you gotta play when your name Juju.
Mhm.
Juju different, man. I
Juju
yeah,
sound like shaking and baking.
right.
Mhm.
It sound like you made an all juice sauce. Forget A1. I got that all Juju sauce.
For real. But she so a lot of men use they slide their back foot for control on layups. She look like Paul Pierce when she's laying the ball up. It is nasty. There's nothing you can do with that body control. You can't rush to block it. You can't
Nope.
wait because then she's just gonna blow right past. Like it is nasty.
Yep.
Oh man, it is nasty.
Her first
Absolutely
her
nasty.
first step is sickening.
Now you
Like
see why I'm saying
it looks like
SC,
it's like watching Cheryl Swoops and Dawn Staley play.
but
Just raw, just I'm about to break your ankles on every single play. Do not
I
step
gotta
too close
see
to me.
I gotta see her and Militia for a while to go blow for blow, because that's the only
Whew.
other person who has a just as nasty first step. And I still don't think she's taking it serious yet. She still be playing.
Full Wiley be out here
Oh,
fooling.
yeah, she not
She
taking it
remind
serious.
me
She
of
be
AI.
playing.
She reminds me of AI when
Yep,
AI was in college. Just out here, like they don't even know how good they are, right? Because for them,
yep,
I'm just gonna play with you, right?
yep.
Step a little closer so I can break your ankles on this play. Step a little further. I'm gonna break your ankles going the other way. I'm
Hmm.
gonna step back. I'm gonna pull up like I'm about to shoot and pass it in the paint so somebody can dunk the ball. So it's crazy watching them play.
Yep, but
Crazy.
you can. I also like it because you can tell that they studied the greats though. That's I
Absolutely.
love.
Hmm.
They studied the greats. Like they weren't out here like, oh, what Coach say, you got pro dreams and a backyard work ethic. Nah, they been
Woo.
in the gym.
It's gonna be man. I'm way too excited already. That's just too
Hmm.
much excitement. Too
Hmm.
much excitement.
Hmm.
DK. So I haven't really asked you because I haven't really seen you like flip over no tables on no yet.
Uh,
What's the parlays that you looking for in the first game of the NBA Finals?
give me a 20-20 or 20. Give me 20 each for Kyrie and Jalen Brown, and give me 25 for Tatum and Luka. First game. First few games always got to be the higher scoring games, and then as we get later on, it tends to get more defensive. They tend to start to figure things out. So these two teams have also been like what we say is probably the better offensive teams. Let's see it then. Let's see what's up game one, game two, three, four. I don't know, but there's been also a lot of instances where the star players each can easily, very easily get 20, but just can Tatum, not Luka so much, not even Kyrie, but can Tatum just get over 25 because he killing me, he killing me.
You know, you just brought that up, and it dawned on me, and just now, it never dawned on me before. What if Kyrie pissed off?
He is. Ain't no way. You know he's thinking about that. Like Jamal said earlier, he that boy ready. He ready to come to Boston for sure.
He ready. I mean, as much as he played in Boston and dealt with Boston when he was in Cleveland, he mad that he has to go to Boston.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Like he is pissed that he absolutely has to go to Boston right now.
It is.
He might get 40 in one of these
I'm
2 games.
afraid.
He could. I mean,
I'm
he's Kyrie, man. That's why I was trying to tell other dude. Like, I have in all of my life, in my young life, or watching basketball, Kyrie and is up there with AI to me in terms of just ball handling and distributing. He's going to create something out of nothing, and you just how you stop him? Fouling? He can shoot free throws too.
Right. Right.
the. So you give the greatest ball handler, God, Sham God, as a coach.
That's the
Whew,
craziest thing too. I didn't know that. I did
that's
not know he
crazy.
coached for them. That was a great pickup. Whoever
Yeah.
decided on
Like,
that.
I really want to run up on Mark Cuban and ask him, like, who the fuck you think you is?
And he did all of
This
that
shit
and
ain't
then
fair.
sold the team. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He did all of that and then sold them.
Do
Oh
y'all
man,
remember watching God, Shem God play in college?
yes,
Yes.
Like he was
yes.
sickening. He was sickening.
You don't coach that. You just go.
You go.
Whatever.
Yup.
We you
Yup.
want to pick? Just call for it. Just go. It's just. I'm scared. I'm gonna go to sleep Thursday night and Kyrie done put up 50. And I promise you, every bad thing I ever said about Kyrie, I'm gonna delete. I'm gonna go it, find it, and delete it. Cause the is you know how bad I talked about Duke education because of Kyrie. I
He ain't that
What
man
do
played 5 games. Did he even get a student ID?
he was at the school for a year.
you
I'm putting it on
That
Duke.
man ain't never seen the inside of nan lecture hall. He don't even know where the library is. He was just there.
Oh, for real, bro. For real.
Just, oh man, like, and the here's the worst part about it is I want to see him score 50 because I know it's gonna be box office. I know it's gonna hurt a lot of young careers if he do.
Mm-hmm.
But mm, I don't. Sometimes the basketball guys give you something you ain't ready for.
Right.
An angry Kyrie. It would my perfect scenario. Kyrie go for 50. We get a glimpse of old New York Porzingis. Just a glimpse. I'd be happy.
Man. Old New York Porzingis was like here one day and gone the next. Like it like
Y'all understand now.
and I remember when New York drafted Porzingis because all the New York fans was mad because they didn't know who he was.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still look it up. It is YouTube and Facebook videos out there of people punching their TVs over Porzingis being drafted.
Mm-hmm. I just that was that was when I was a New York fan heavy. And then Phil Jackson drafted
Frank Ntilikina.
Frank Ntilikina. And I
Star.
stopped telling people I was a New York Knicks fan. I would watch in silence. I wouldn't tell nobody nothing.
Well,
We would have a whole podcast.
listen. I've been scratching my head on the Godfather of basketball in Miami all season on what he got going on down there. So
So it's a mystery
to everybody
that
but
I
him,
really won't answer because Stan Van Gundy stepped down in the middle of a playoff season and don't want to talk about it. Nah, listen,
has he
I
coached
ain't
since then?
no,
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so.
I ain't
He has
trying to.
like
I ain't
disappeared.
trying to call Pat Riley Irish Mafia. I ain't trying to say all that. I like my channel. I like my podcast. I don't want nothing bad to happen to my livelihood. But for a coach,
Mm-hmm.
dang near 20 years later, not to say a
A
word
word.
about it is crazy. Is absolutely crazy. I, listen, Phil Jackson is not the GOAT. He ain't even top three. It's Red and it's Pat. That's it. Everybody else ain't. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all some absolute cheater game. Red Auerbach in three different iterations of Boston Celtics had 4 to 7 Hall of Famers on the team, and nobody said nothing. Like, oh, that's just Red being Red. Really?
I
No, because they
mean,
couldn't
hey,
do nothing with him. That's why.
How you?
What are they gonna do to Red Auerbach? What?
I mean, hey, it wasn't no salary cap then either. You can get what you
Right,
wanted to get.
right. He
You
was
could do
gonna get
what you
away
wanted to do.
murder if he
Like,
could.
imagine right now if the NBA had no salary cap, what would teams look like?
Forget about it. More people would
Exactly.
have sold that team.
It,
LeBron might actually get them 10 titles
Uh,
I
instead of
mean,
the 2 he got in Miami. Also, quit playing with the basketball guys. Don't be telling people how many championships you're gonna win. It's other dudes in the NBA. They get paid too,
and some
like
of
JJ Barea.
all right, all right.
okay,
But you
uh,
don't give Derek White respect. This is crazy. This is
right.
crazy. He's
Hold
having a
on,
JJ
hold on.
Barea type run, and you ain't giving him
JJ won
respect.
a chip. JJ won a chip.
And he about to win one, and you're not supporting Derek White. This is craziness.
Listen, if Derek White is the defensive stopper on Kyrie, I will come on this podcast and publicly apologize. However, I've said it
Oh,
probably
that's
8 times
clipped.
already.
Yup.
It ain't no dude in Boston that, you know what, in Massachusetts that can guard Kyrie. None. I
Hey,
just, he made a young dude tired.
Yeah.
How you?
well, I mean, get in the gym, young fella.
Oh Lord have
Hey,
mercy.
all right, I'm gonna put y'all down. They done called me over this intercom 3 times. That means somebody messing up.
All right, no, we getting ready to get up out here.
Yeah.
Man.
Thank you for coming
Hey,
on, man. We appreciate your insight.
Yes,
absolutely.
sir.
I'm open to
Appreciate
do
you,
this
Jamal.
again if y'all will have me, man. Y'all have a good night.
No problem, no problem. Oh man, oh man, I'm definitely gonna thank Jamal for coming on. Listen, DK, you know me. I am bombastic, but when I don't like a player, I don't like a player.
Yeah, you right.
And Derek White is one of them dudes that he just on that list. He ain't did nothing to me. He ain't lost me no money. He, I, I get tired of people telling, "Oh, Derek White," and I look at the box score and I be looking at them like,
It's because he's a great
"Well, he
role
played good
player,
defense."
is what he is. I feel like some people be overdoing it. I feel like that people definitely be overdoing his role, but he plays it very well. He's a great supporting cast player, very good
And I
supporting
don't,
cast.
and that's my thing. He's a supporting cast player, and I'm not mad at Derek White per se. It's the fans that overdo it.
It's
But
always
they
the fans
still
that
have.
overdo it though.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I mean, that school in Daytona, they fans
Bless
be
you, bless.
overdoing it a lot too. I just have to let them have it with a wonderful recruiting class they got. That ain't gonna win that. Anyway,
Okay.
man, it's this been a good, healthy podcast. For those who are new to the podcast, um, TP got 2 kids that I love them to death. 3 kids. No, the baby don't. The
Oh,
baby
okay, okay,
ain't
okay,
really there
okay.
yet. The baby ain't really there. But Julian,
Julian off the
I be rooting
chain.
for Julian to act up. I be rooting for Julian to act up because he act up different.
He's like Bam
He'll
Bam
be
off the
yeah,
Flintstones.
for real. Speaking of acting up kids, my baby boy is on restriction, and apparently he don't feel like he need to call his daddy because he on restriction.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to call him in the morning and tell him if he don't go to his mama and pick up that phone and call me, we're gonna have some words. But yeah, he big mad because he got 2 weeks of punishment. So
What?
yeah. So when somebody tell you you can't have something, especially his mama, yeah, when she say no, no mean no.
Mm-hmm.
She don't need to see that thing in your room later.
Mm.
Cause I was on the road when I got that phone call.
Oh man.
I was like, dude, what did you do? And you know, kids take you a long time to tell you what they did,
Mm,
nice and slow. I was like, all
Boy.
right, buddy, all right, we you got to wear this one.
mm-hmm.
But everybody, I want to thank. Well, hold on, we ain't do our weekly. We ain't do our weeklies. Miss Wright, would you do the honors of doing the weekly?
Hmm. Um, my weekly is a lesson in leadership, and that is trust your instincts. Trust your instincts, and always recognize when it's time to move on from something or on to something, and never apologize for making decisions that's going to elevate your team, protect your peace, and provide a safe space for yourself and others.
Mm. Yes. Amen. Amen.
I'm like, that's T flip.
Uh-huh.
DK,
Uh-huh. Uh, maybe to tag along to that,
Yes.
to add on, to try to better yourself. Just I say, just try to get better at something every day. No matter if you young, you're old. Don't feel the need to be like nah, or that you're better than anybody else, or that you're in a great spot. I feel like all of us, like I said, regardless of age, skin tone, whatever you want to, the list goes on and on. We could all get better at something. Get better at one thing. Just get better at one thing, and I'm telling you, it would make your day better and make your life better. Because then you'll start to see over time. It's like, wow, I've accomplished, or I could do all these different type of things. It's not just one thing. So that's my 2 cents.
so I found this week to be very profound. I watched a gentleman try and crown himself the maker of people. Never mind the fact that people have put in the work to advance their own careers, to become the people that they are, to put themselves in a position to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented in front of them.
Mm.
This very platform, at one point, went away in a blink of an eye because I thought I was funny making jokes about a defensive lineman. What you don't know is one of the people that helped me change how I did the podcast was DK. I was watching his streams of Madden and start to formulate my ideas. That's learning from someone. Didn't make, just learn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I learned from HBCU Nightly. I learned from, believe it or not, Pat McAfee, because I wanted to be able to do a podcast that was authentically us, but also led with love. And so when I see dudes using their platforms to make their own egos bigger instead of helping people, it didn't sit right with me. So I had to reach out to other voices because to for me or anyone specifically just to speak on that, you now become the subject of the issue and your ego is now in place of the actual issue. And I didn't want that. I wanted people to see what was happening.
Mm.
So you bring on voices. I never want people to agree with me. I want to hear their perspectives because that's how I learn. And so this Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, Pat McAfee thing, this is an exercise in hubris. You think you are bigger than the actual game. And this goes for anyone. The Shield, whether it's the WNBA, ESPN, NFL, CBS, the Shield moves on. It's been a million Stephen A's. There's a dude named Brian Gumble. You should probably look him up. He was Stephen A before Stephen A. Stephen A is not special. He is not different. He is just another along the way. I ain't special. I'm just another guy along the way. So as long as you're able to keep your humility intact, and I am a person who hates humility. If you know my background as a programmer, you know why. But humility is a good thing. At the end of the day, we laid the rest, my good friend's dad. And the stories that were told was not how he made people, it was how he worked with and for people. That's the goal. That's it. Lead with love. Thank y'all for coming out. For myself and everyone here at the Madness Basketball Podcast, we are out.